Red light. Okay,
Go.
let's go.
Hi, I'm Sasha.
And I'm Dahi.
This is DNA Slotcars, and we're going to be doing an interview with Massimo from MP Slotcars.
Welcome,
Massimo.
my friend.
Hi.
Welcome. The only thing
Thank
we've not seen is we need to see you slide into shot. Okay.
Ooh, yeah,
Because
great.
yes. Okay. So we'll do it again. We'll do it again, right? Okay. You say
Okay.
introduce again, Sash. Yeah. Okay.
Hi, I'm Sasha.
And I'm Dahi.
This is DNA Slotcars, and we're going to be doing an interview with Massimo from MP Slotcars.
And he's nowhere to be seen.
Nowhere.
There he is. the affectionately known as the Massimo slide or the Massimo shuffle, I think. How are you doing?
Good, yourself?
Awesome. Thanks very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
We've been trying to pin this guy down to do a podcast for how long now? Months.
Sorry.
You've been a busy man. Well, this lady has got a load of questions ready to go. 155 questions, so we should get through that in about 6 hours. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Awesome.
First, where do you live?
Where do I live? I always say I'm in Toronto, Canada, but really I'm on a good day, about an hour north of the city.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
So, good hour north of the city, yeah.
What are your bank account and sort code details?
I'll text you that to you later.
Sasha's like, why are you asking that question? Yeah, it's just
How did you get the idea of a channel, and how long have you been doing it?
The channel started in 2020 during COVID. I feel a lot of channels started around that time. To be honest, I never had any idea to start a YouTube channel. I was just bored one day at home during lockdown, and the track I built at that time, I just decided, let me put a video up on YouTube. Yeah. It ended up getting a lot of views and comments on it, so it kind of gave me the, I guess, idea, maybe I could run with this. I'll do another video and I'll put myself on camera. And I've always been a shy person, like in school. Yeah. When we had to do a presentation, I was hiding behind my book. I didn't like speaking in public and stuff like that, but YouTube told me to be better with that. And yeah, so it kind of just happened, to be honest. I had no intentions of getting to this point, but I'm glad I took that step.
Yeah, well, we are too. And there's a couple of questions down which will go into that because we've been watching you for a long time, actually.
How did you get into slot cars, and how old were you when you first saw a slot car?
The first slot car I saw, I must have been very young. Like, I remember, like, racing's always been a big part of my dad's life. He's always loved racing. So I had like a little, I'm pretty sure it's like a Tyco set growing up. I had like a little Canon F1 car. The Williams had a McLaren. So I remember playing with that a lot when I was, I don't know, I think there's some pictures floating around when I was like 3 or 4 years old. I had something small like that.
Okay.
But after that too, I'd always buy, like, I had a scale electric set for a long time, and then I was out of it for a long time, then got to with Carrera.
Yeah, cool. Okay. And
yeah.
I mean, I think everybody's stories is quite similar when it's, you're younger and you're given a set or gifted a set. And mine's the same with my uncles gifted us a scale electric set. That was way back in the day. That would have been a 70s, late 60s set. That would have been.
Oh, wow.
And back in the day when they had the Mini Coopers and they were front wheel drive and very, very difficult to keep them running. It was like a surgical procedure, keeping these things going. And then after a while, the braid would be gone very quickly and you'd have to replace that constantly. And then, but that was half the fun. I think you don't see a lot of that now as much because it's, things have advanced, of course, but I still have fond memories of those first cars and track, etc.
Yeah, it's all part of the experience, right?
Yeah, definitely. We've come a long way though, haven't we? Really, in since then with regards to what's available. But the fundamentals are the same. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, we're running cars around in a groove, um, and some faster than others, no doubt. But yeah. Okay, Sash, what have we got next?
Okay. Did you know that you and Travis were the first slot car channels that me and my dad watched? How does it make you feel knowing that you bring people into the hobby?
I mean, one, I'm flattered that I was one of the first channels you watched. I mean, Travis is huge, and he's a big part of me continuing with my channel personally. But the fact that
Mm,
you guys watch us both, I really appreciate that. Um, and yeah, the fact that we're bringing people like yourself in to do videos and get into the hobby in general, I think that's the goal. At least when me and Travis spoke way back when, that was our
yeah.
goal, to get this hobby to the masses, because there's no advertising for this hobby, and we want to show the world, hey, this is a thing, this is cool, jump on in, join us.
Yeah, no, I think so, 100%. And you've done really well. I mean, you're over 5,000 subscribers now, I think.
Just wow.
That's cool. I mean, I can't remember even, but you have grown quite a bit in the last period of time as well. It's good because your videos are fun, you know. That's what it's about. I mean, to be honest, like I you're not going to pick up and spend time watching something for me anyway, unless it's, you know, number one, give it looking for information, or it's fun. It has to be informative and fun. You know, that's the important thing.
Yeah. All is to have fun.
That's it, isn't it?
Exactly.
If you're
Yeah.
not having
Yeah.
fun, it's
Why
like,
bother?
you know, why? Yeah, exactly. Why bother? You
You hit
know,
the nail on the head. Yeah.
yeah, I've had, you know, chats with Travis as well, and it's been about, you know, it has to be fun, and if it's not fun, then you just, I mean, I wouldn't do it. To be personally, if, you know, if it turns around, if Sasha turned around at some point and said she wasn't having fun doing it, I wouldn't bother. You know, it's like, why would you? You know.
Yeah,
But I
exactly.
think you've evolved a bit, Sash, haven't you? I mean, at the
Yeah.
start, I think Sasha was very worried about, you know, she's precious about her cars, aren't you? Yeah. And she was worried about, you know,
Like crashing them
crashing on
and
camera and
breaking
stuff.
stuff.
And I mean,
Like destroying the place.
hey, yeah, you have killed a few
I still have
trees.
those same worries myself. So
I think Massimo is cut from the same cloth as you, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it has to be about fun, isn't it? That's what it's
yeah,
about.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
Sash,
why I'm
What
doing
was
it.
the first slot car you had?
First slot car I had. Well, like, it was those Tyco cars, but for I guess recently, I guess with my Carrera journey. Should we go with
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
I picked up I bought a set way back when I was in just got out of college. It was an F1 132 set, and
Mm-hmm.
I think the first actual car I bought outside of that set that came with three cars was the F1 safety car, the Mercedes AMG back then. So that probably
They
was the
aren't easy
first.
to get now.
What's that?
They're not easy to get now, those F1 cars.
Now I know. Back then there were so many on the shelf. If I knew, I would have bought a few, but you don't know, right?
Yeah. I know hindsight is not an exact science, is it? Yeah, that's pretty cool. And do you still run those cars? Are they sort of shelf queens now?
The F1s are parked. The safety car I'll still run once in a while. It's still the designated safety car for my track. When I have some people over, I'll have that come out just for a laugh when there's an accident sometimes.
Yeah.
But other than that, a lot of my early cars now, they're a little bit weathered, so I kind of park them now, retired them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's it gets that way with, I mean, I don't know. How many cars do you have? That's actually a question. How many
Yeah.
cars do you have now? I know you got, you know, other model cars as well, but slot cars specifically.
Slot cars, I haven't counted, but I should be like around the 120 mark ish. I sold a
Okay.
bunch last year, but now I've been buying since December. I've been going kind of on a binge on eBay's evil, but I've been buying a lot of F1 cars off of eBay lately, like the older ones.
I saw quite the haul lately, actually, of some cars, haven't we? Of the new ones you've gotten, and obviously, new to you, in some cases, but
Yeah.
it's not. We actually, we had no F1 cars until we were watching your channel, and then we were like, oh, well, maybe we'll get some F1 cars. So it's your fault.
Sorry.
Yeah, Dad, was I right about that scale auto car though?
Wow, that thing is a monster. I did nothing to it out of the box. I'm so impressed with how quick it is.
We had the Alan Prost one and that
Yeah,
Senna one that you have, and I remember telling you about how quick it was. It's so
yeah,
fast, it's unfair to the other cars.
it is. Without like
It's
trying,
crazy.
half a second quicker without trying.
Honestly, you would need a baseball bat to actually derail it as well, because between the
Yeah,
magnet, the motor, and it's just like glue, isn't it?
Yeah.
3 laps, and it broke our record by 1 full second. That's crazy.
by full second. Wow.
A full second, absolutely insane, and it's
That's just crazy how fast that
it
is.
is, isn't it? Like I think the fastest lap was a hair under 5 seconds with a 132nd car. I can't remember what car it was, and honestly, that knocked a second off it. And I'm like, wow, okay, we're gonna have to. You can only run that against the other one because otherwise it's like insane.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
unfair advantage.
I was mad at that time because I made a track record and then he just beat it straight away. I'm like, no!
Yeah, you weren't too happy, were you?
That car too, that Ash.
But you have to deal with it.
We should get you on running that one, see how quick you can go with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sasha's getting fast these days. I've been very impressed with her, especially the magless cars.
Yeah,
It's
the
impressive.
videos I've seen, like, I
Impressive.
can see how good she's doing. Like she's getting very, very good.
She's nearly too good.
But here's the trick about magless cars. Like if you worry about it too much, you're gonna get it wrong. But if you don't worry about it and think it's like, oh, it does have a magnet, then like you'll actually do well. Like that's what I usually think, and sometimes I actually forget.
So you mean drive it like you stole it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good tip.
Drive
give
it
that a
like
try.
you stole it.
Drive it like you stole it, not how you bought it.
There you go.
I like that. I like that.
Wise words. What have we got next, Sash?
Can you please tell us about your layout and how you built it? And are you happy about your new upgrades?
So the layout, the original one, which the current one is an evolution of, I just kind of designed it to fit the space that I had, and I didn't want too much overlapping of the track. I just wanted that one bridge. So I kind of designed it that way to kind of fit the diameter of the table and a little bit of an infield. So the new table is just an evolution of that expanded.
Cool.
I tried to keep it. I don't know. I wanted to make an F1 circuit. Ideally, I wanted to make Monza, but I just didn't have the space for it. So I tried to kind of keep it F1-y, if that makes any sense. In terms of the changes I made a couple months ago, I'm happy with it because it stretches out the car's legs a little bit more coming off that last corner. That's a bank.
Yeah.
The track is semi-permanent because of the scenery. So that's the one downside. I love doing the scenery. That was part of the experience, just building the scenery, making your own little world. But in a way, I kind of wish I didn't, just so you can always change up the layout. That's my one regret. But at the same time, like I'm happy with it. If I really wanted to change it, I could. It's just gonna be a little bit more work.
Yeah. And what's the dimensions of your layout? I can't recall now exactly. I know since we spoke about that kind of thing aspect, you had added that extra component. So
Yeah, it's still 8 feet wide, and now it's just under 18 feet long.
yeah, that's a good size though. I mean, what's your lane length there? I mean, you probably have a decent.
Check because when I made the changes for whatever reason, like it didn't line up on the Carrera app, and I couldn't get the total length.
Yeah.
So I have to check to see what the actual, because a bunch of people have asked, and I always say, oh, I gotta go check, and I always forget to go look at the actual lane length?
It's probably, I would say it's probably in the region of maybe it's 65, 70 feet. Would that be roughly? It could be. I'm
Yeah,
thinking of
maybe
ours.
5-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, I think ours is about it's 57, and ours is 14 by 8, 14.1 by 8 feet. So it's, not a million miles away, but I think you have a bit extra. So I would say you're roughly around that, which is a good size.
No, yeah, I'm happy with the size. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good that we, as you know, we had your layout running on our rug originally, your exact layout, the first iteration of it, and then Sasha and her mom kept nagging at me to do this channel, and I was like, "Yeah, we can't have the same layout if we're going to do a channel." So we I got creative then with the auto Renban planner, and again went heavy into the scenery, there, which is still evolving. But
Mhm.
the downside to that is, and I said this is definitely going to be modular, right? And it's kind of modular. What I did, I ended up sealing the joints, and I'm like, why did I do that? Because now we're planning on changing the carpet there to a hard floor, and I'm like, oh no, now I'm going to have to. What I didn't do though, the level change, so we have kind of like a mountain or hill there. I didn't attach that to the base, so that's good. So it'll maybe only take me a week instead of 2 weeks.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But the problem
Yeah.
about the track on the carpet that we had
Mm.
was it was so hard to put it together and take it apart.
Oh, you've not known pain until you've tried to assemble big tracks on carpet, and it's like, you're trying to drag the track, and it's getting stuck. And
Oh yeah, I've been there.
first world problems, though, isn't it? It's like when you graduate to the actual proper layout, and you're like, how did I ever function on the carpet, or on the floor?
So
And when you
true.
get to my age as well, 46 now, and knees start to get sore when you're going around on them. You have to put a cushion under there. Catches up to us all, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
So we know you're a big F1 fan. Which is your favorite team?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to say Ferrari.
Hey, yeah, I knew that one.
Yeah, Ferrari.
Which team? Let's say which era is your favorite?
Here would be the Schumacher era, like
Yeah.
from 2000 to 2006. He was my favorite driver, and I think
Mhm.
those cars back then in general, any team back in like that 05, 06, even 07 era, those are my favorite looking F1
Yeah.
cars. They were smaller, more
Mhm.
agile. They had the V10s. It was a nice time.
The V10s are I think the biggest disappointment for me in F1 over the years was when they moved away from the V10s, because
Yeah.
the sound from them is just, there's nothing like it.
No.
Um, and maybe that's why I have put up with the fact that I've not had my car now for over 15 months, because my M5 is a V10, and it's got that distinct sound. And
Oh yeah, the
I've,
M5s are nice.
I've put up with a lot because of that, because of what it is under the hood. And I think from a sound perspective, it's just never been the same. Even watching these cars, and just I remember that scream that they had. Um,
Oh yeah.
Not saying that it's still great and they sound
It,
amazing, but
it's good, but it's because I used to go to Montreal a lot to watch the Grand Prix, and
they're
you'd be
awesome.
down in Montreal when the cars are practicing, you'd hear them like, oh, they're practicing. You go now, it's like you could barely hear them. Sounds like GT cars practicing. And then you used to go to the race, you'd feel it in your chest when those V10s were coming by. Like you'd feel it.
Yeah.
It's the whole experience, and just plugging your ears when it would come by. It was different time.
What was your favorite F1 race ever? Do you have like a standout, a particular race, or is it more season?
I mean, like I've gone back and watched a lot of the
Yeah.
races, and I think that whole being Canadian, that whole race with even though it wasn't good for Ferrari, but when Jacques Villeneuve,
Yeah.
Michael Schumacher there touched at the hairpin
Mm.
and sent Schumacher off, and Villeneuve ended up winning the championship. That race sticks out. Just being Canadian and proud of
Yeah.
Villeneuve race there that season he had. So yeah, probably a '97 season. That race in general, just those two colliding at the finale there.
It's that's when I obviously I watched I watched a lot more of the F1 back then. Dana, and I still watch. I watch now though more so. I watch the highlights and stuff like that. Whereas I used to sit down and watch the entire races at that time. But then, as you said, it was people were very invested in the drivers. I think from that era back, obviously you're going back to the Senna, etc. as well, and I think people were more engaged. Whereas I'm glad now things, the problem is though you have just a dominance now that's it sort of takes away the guesswork out of, oh, I wonder what's going to happen next week. It's like, well, and nobody
Yeah, it's
really
like
likes them either.
it's more you're just guessing. Well, who's going to come second? That's it.
Have you ever come across an F1 era where the dominant driver is so disliked? That's
No, now would be the one. Yeah, because it's either with
yeah.
Max, it's either you hate him or you love him. There's not an in between.
Yeah, there's no in between, is there? It's like, you got to admire the skills. I guess it just doesn't appeal to everybody. I mean, I like to see a bit of a mix up of, close competition as well, and not just one person winning pretty much every. The only chance another driver has is if something happens to his car, basically.
Yeah. Well, that's why the 2021 season, even though it ended sour, that was a great season because it was those two, Hamilton and Verstappen, all year kind of back and forth. They were fighting with each other. So that was, in recent times, that was a really good season, I would say.
Yeah.
Just ended really poorly, unfortunately, for Lewis there. That was not fair, but.
Definitely. Do you think who's the next big threat? Do you think to that dominance?
I have a feeling that McLaren's going to have a good year this year. I don't know if they're going to really challenge for the championship in the end, but seeing their progression over the years, and now I think they have a really good lineup with Norris and Piastri. I think they can have a really good season and maybe put up a fight with Max. And I think Lewis is going to bounce back this year too. I have a good feeling that Lewis is going to have a good year.
Yeah. No,
Mercedes
definitely.
doesn't sleep. They're trying to figure out that car. They're going to come up with something, I'm sure.
That's probably my favorite car, the AMG, the Mercedes car. I really like I love the livery. And we're BMW and Merc fans in this house, and but I always particularly like that car. So I'd like to see them, I think they can definitely improve a lot, if they can work out the kinks.
Yeah, I mean, they have the lineup, Russell and Hamilton. It's a strong lineup. They just need that little bit of special with the car. They'll be good.
Yeah, that's it, because he's gonna, if he has the car right, he's gonna be up there. It's as simple as that. He's a very good driver. But yeah, it's exciting. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, 100%.
So, what's your favorite slot car brand?
Oof.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, the channel, as you know, it's mainly Carrera because the track is Carrera. But brand-wise, if I had to choose on the top of my head, I would say the MR slot cars, like the Ernie's cars there.
Yeah.
I think they're built very well, and knowing him personally, maybe I'm a little bit biased because I see how much research and development he puts into it. When I go by his shop, I see all the work he's putting in, and like that shadow, when he showed me the early renders of that shadow, how he was trying to come up with that guide, I thought it was incredible. I'm like, that's so crazy that you're going through all this effort to make this new guide that doesn't exist right now to get that body close to perfect as possible. So I just have really appreciation for that brand right now.
We only have the one car, which is the Shadow, but we do plan on adding to that. Definitely, the new he's released the GT1s recently, but we have the where are they? Yeah, we've got the BRM GT1s.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. They probably won't be ones we'll add because I don't. I'd rather get something different than add the same. Keep things vary things up. We try and have two of each kind of car to be able to run them against each other.
Yeah.
What would you recommend would be our next MR slot car purchases then if we've got obviously we've got the Shadow. Has he got something that will run against the Shadow? Because we've been running that against Slottits.
I mean, he doesn't have any more like Can-Am cars currently. He has. I have it here. And he has these Ferraris here. He has 3 of these guys.
Yeah, they're nice, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
Those
he has
are
3
cool.
This is the only one I have, and again, it runs very good. The Shadow,
Yeah.
though, it's out of all those cars, the Shadow's the quickest. Like it's hard to
Yeah.
compete against. At least on my track, that's what I found. Like Shadow, out of all of his cars, Shadow's #1 right now.
Yeah, the only thing we had to do with that is I needed to adjust the front axle a bit height-wise
Yeah.
just to get it because it was catching and clicking on the track. So once I got that adjusted, I mean, it's very quick, very quick. It's not as quick as that Scale Auto F1,
Oh, no,
but
No,
not even close.
that Scale Auto's
I mean-
a cheater car. Too quick.
that's a second faster than our NSR Aston Martin F1. Full second
Oh,
in the
wow.
difference in those two, yeah. And that's even with the tires done on the NSR.
On the NSR. Wow.
Yeah. I think if we removed, I haven't checked this actually. That's what I'll do. Because we have the magnet Marshall and everything now. So I'm going to I'll check the magnetic downforce on those Scale Auto cars and let me try and even that up with the NSR and let's just see what sort of a difference there is. That's a video right there.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, it would because we've been incorporating that magnet Marshall into the reviews and we actually have we have the H&R test bench, which is a dyno now as well. We still have to review that, but we're going to do that in the reviews as well. Just trying to keep it, do some different things, keep people interested. Nobody wants to see me driving the cars, though, Massimo. What am I doing wrong here?
No, you're doing good. Your channel's steadily growing, and I mean, I think Travis said it when you had him on your channel too. You guys, like Sasha's the future.
Yeah,
I think Bobby, if she continues to have that love for it like she has now, she can get really, really big. One, she's a female. We don't have many females in the hospital, and she's very young. See, she has a passion for it. She's really good at driving. I'd be scared to race against her because she'll embarrass me. But
it was
future if you continue to do so, right?
Yeah, well, I was super impressed when we went up to the BRM 24 hour.
Okay,
And it's
now that was just fun.
Well, I mean, it was super fun, yeah. But I mean, I don't think that I would have entered into that into those Group 2 races and everything else if I was 8 years old, and you were 7 at the time. I mean, that is, I was nervous. I think I was more nervous than she was.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, at 35 years old, I'd be.
And he's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Please, I really need to."
Yeah. You gotta admire the confidence, don't you?
100%.
That race was really fun for me. Like,
super cool. It's I would highly recommend that you try and get up there for. I was thinking, and I was talking to a couple of people as well. It'd be really fun to put in a YouTubers team into the BRM race.
That'd be pretty cool.
Be fun, It could be, say for example, it could be yourself, myself, Sasha, and Travis if he was, something along those lines. It's I the 24 hour is a serious undertaking, you know. Like Sasha obviously did little bits of that, and she did, but there's also
And I was also controlling the cameras.
yeah, there's sprint races and everything. Sasha was doing the whole live feed and everything for the duration
that
of
was
that. Yeah, weren't you?
Yeah.
oh, good
But
job.
honestly, the only thing you need to do though, if you do plan, I think it'd be great for you to see it and to come over to that race. We're definitely going to be going in November, but you have to bring an empty suitcase
Okay.
because I have just never seen never seen. You've seen the videos we did on there. I mean, the amount of cars and stuff that
It's
you
just crazy
it
how
is, isn't
much
it?
there is in there.
Stuff that's not been seen. Actually, we'll give Massimo a sneaky look. Actually, so we've got a new. We're going to do a new review series called Hidden Gems, right?
Okay.
And it's basically because when we were up there, I noticed a lot of these cars that were older liveries out of print that you can't get. Well, you can get them, but you can pay 4 or 5 times the cost. Whereas Alan is selling these cars
For
if
the
somebody
same
wants them
price.
for the original price.
Oh,
So we
wow.
decided to do some hidden gems, right? So these are the first Revo slots that ever came out. Some of the
The
very
first
first
one.
cars. And you can't, you know, a lot of these times you're trying to find these and people are looking for 3 and 4 times the cost. So I said, okay, how about we do some hidden gems in different brands? You know, obviously they have to be available. So there's no point in us doing a video of a car and everyone wants to buy one then and there's only one in stock, you know. So we're trying to work with Alan to figure out, okay, what have you got in the older liveries? Let's review them. And, you know, for example, those Revos are $10 less than they originally cost, but yet you could pay 4 times the price elsewhere. So I think that, do you think that's will be I thought it was a good idea for reviews, apart from the new stuff, just to try and highlight some of the stuff that's available that people might want, you know?
Yeah, no, 100%. Because like everyone, including myself, always review the newer cars and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
finding like that hidden gems, I think it's huge. No one's really done that. And if you're working
Mm,
it out with Alan there too, that people like myself are watching, I'm like, oh, that would be cool to get that car, and it's actually available. I
yeah.
mean, that's massive because you're helping yourself out by doing something different, but also the community. If they see a car, oh, that would be cool to grab, and it's actually
Yeah.
available for a decent price.
That's it. And I mean, I'm not a big fan of you know, as soon as cars are deliveries out of print and then suddenly they're 4 or 5 times the cost, you know. It's like you know, people charge what they want, but I think it's okay, stuff's available. Let's highlight it and show people that you can, you know, there's stuff up there that's, I think you if you were looking for something particularly and you phoned up and you're like, do you have this? There's a good chance it might be there, you know? And so even there's some stuff there that's not on the website even, you know what I mean? It's like, it really is a treasure trove. So if you were coming up, you would definitely, like we did, have to bring an empty suitcase.
Yeah.
I'll
And
make a
also, like after
Yeah.
the race, the BRM guys gave me this special BRM car, and they signed
Wow.
it.
They signed it for you too. That's amazing. Look at
Pretty
that.
cool, huh?
That's a nice memento
Pretty
to take away,
cool.
huh?
Well, this lady, yeah. So we'll tell you, we haven't told anybody else. So this little lady is going to be the first, I think, a world exclusive. She'll be driving the GT40 prototype BRM next week because we're getting sent that,
Wow.
and that new Alpha TTS car. Remember, I sent you a picture?
Yeah.
So we'll have the only finished car in existence of that, and we're going to run them against each other. See how
Wow.
good
That's
the TTS is.
nice.
But that's all because Sasha's pals now at BRM, aren't you?
Yeah.
Good for
We're
you. That's
keep,
amazing stuff.
we're keeping them going with all the cars we've got lately.
Looks like you have a store behind you with all the BRMs.
You what? Sorry.
Looks like a store behind you, like all the BRMs and TTS and everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
you should
there
see our
is.
slot car room. There's way more in there.
This one is my favorite, obviously.
Oh
That's
yeah, I
that
saw
one that.
that the other week. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's if it wasn't like number 6 kind of thing, then maybe I'd run it, but I don't
No,
think
that's
I
such a low
can, to be
number.
honest. It's not one for running. We'll keep it as a shelf queen. It's okay to have some shelf queens, isn't it? We don't have many, in fairness, maybe a couple. But what about you? Do you have many shelf queens?
No, I usually run every car at least once.
Yeah.
I don't know behind me if there's any cars I actually haven't run. Like, no, for the most part, I've run everything at least once before I park it, and then multiple, unless it's a limited car like some of the NSRs, like that Pink Pig NSR. I ran it once. I probably won't run it again. The limited edition Carreras. Oh, you got
I don't.
that? Is that Travis's? I can't see it.
That's number 3. Yeah, no,
Wow.
that's the number 3 car. We were fortunate to be able to get the number 3. I don't think we're going to run Travis. I don't think we can
That's
run
one.
Travis.
I don't want to.
Well, it's
That's
kind of
the
one.
shelf queen.
That's a little shelf queen.
It's tiny.
And it's funny because I hadn't had a HO slot car in my hand, and since we had that AFX set, that's Santa Claus managed to track down, which is the original one I had, which is awesome. But
Right here.
I was shocked because they were so small, and you're used to 124, 132nd cars, and I thought 132nd cars were small, and then you're looking at HO, and it's like the detail on that car is extremely impressive.
Really?
Compared to, I've seen some HO cars, and we'll say some of the auto world cars and stuff like that, and I've seen that the track width, axle width, the wheels are way out past the guards, and they're not. It doesn't look right, as a scale model, whereas that's really accurate, and it's amazing how they've managed to do that because you're obviously so small, and then get
Oh, yeah.
the motor and everything in there as well. It's impressive. What's next on the list, Sash?
So, what are your favorite slot cars, and can you show us some of them?
Favorite slot cars? Yeah, I have some here. So I brought a
I'm going.
mix. You gave me a warning to get some cars ready here. So obviously, no surprise after yesterday, this is at the top of my list now of because it's so darn quick.
The weapon.
And I'm a fan too, so top of the list right now of what I'm enjoying.
Have you changed the guide on that, or is it standard guide, Massimo?
Still standard.
Yeah, it seems fine to me. I don't want it any quicker, so I don't want to do anything to it.
Yeah, I feel like it's already too quick.
I wonder if I drove that car.
Yeah, well, why don't you try driving it?
Yeah, Sasha has to drive it. She has to set a new lap record.
Yes, she does, definitely. Okay.
For the club track, when I go to these, I run this car a lot. It's not quick by any means. I just have a really good time driving it. It's a Ninko.
That 360?
And I bought a. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And I bought a used, and whoever owned it did a lot of work to it. As you can see, there's a lot. The wheels have been hopped up a little bit underneath.
Okay.
A little bit of work with the gearing. So it runs really well. It's magnetless. Just very fun to drive. Like I have driving it, but again, it's not quick. I don't go there. I'm not going to break any lap records. I just have a good time driving it there.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Nice car.
Yeah, it's fun. So they're fun cars. In terms of Carrera, I think these are my favorite ones to drive. The 124s, the 917s. They're just a blast to drive.
The handler, do you find, I mean, for me, I just find the handling characteristics far more realistic in 124. Like it's, you're really driving the cars, and it's
you can
controlled.
Anticipate what they're going to do.
Yeah. I mean, you can really, you know, if a car is, if you're drifting the car, for example, and you've got the larger mass, it really is quite realistic. I find. I'm not saying I don't enjoy it. I love the 132nds as well. I just find that I find I'm more engaged when I'm racing the 124s.
I have to agree 100%. Again, I could feel what the car is doing a little bit more in the 124s. That they're a little bit slower too. The 132s are just so quick that you
Yeah.
know, if you're starting to the back end, a lot of times, yeah, you can catch it. But I feel like with the 124s, it's like more closer to a real car. For the back end stepping out, it's like, oh, I got to correct that, and you can save it.
Yes. Yeah. No, I agree 100%. And a little birdie told me, yeah, well, I know for a fact you were the little birdie. You're going to be getting into the BRM side of things fairly soon, aren't you?
Yeah. And that's your fault.
Sashes are mine.
Now we're even.
Yeah, fair point. Well made. So you have, and it's one BRM you have coming. Is that right?
Yeah, that well, two actually. I got I forget now which one. I got this guy, the 917 that
Yes.
they released. So I got that. That's coming. This is the Carrera one, but I have that coming from BRM and the other Porsche there. I forget which one it is now. I'm having I'm blanking
Is it
out
the
on
Lucky
it.
Strike? Did you go for the Lucky Strike on the 917K as well, or did you go for something different?
No, I got it was the Golf livery. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So this is let me see.
Oh, we have right there.
Got one here.
And we got a Carrera version.
Yeah, so this one.
Yeah,
That's
the
the one
one.
you have coming. And then was there another one then you were a 917 as well, or is it something different?
I think I forget what it's a different car. It was another Porsche, but I can't. It was a while ago when I ordered it. I gotta check the email. I don't remember which one.
You've reached
I think it
saturation
was one of
point
the
now. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it, when you start you're thinking I'm definitely going to remember all the cars I have, and then you start to get. We counted the other day, and we have 130 now, and
Oof.
you start to then you forget. You're like, oh, remember we have this car? Remember we've that car? We've not even run. Some of the stuff has never been opened yet.
Like, okay. Like,
Yeah.
well, oh, why don't we just look at our cars? I'm like, we have this car? Like, what?
I know, it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah,
Have you been like that as well? I mean, is there cars that you sort of you really want to get around, and you're like, then you get something else that takes precedent, and then you forget about the other one, and it's like, oh, we haven't run that yet.
No, 100%. Like I'll buy one or two cars, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna review these. I'll maybe open one, do a video on it, or even just open one just to play with. And I just kind of the other one gets put on the back burner because then the next week I'll get something else will come in the mail, or I find one in the store, and I just kind of put it to the side. There's a couple in my closet there that are just still boxed, collecting dust, which you gotta, like you said, you just forget about them until you open that door. It's like, oh yeah, there they are.
Yeah, well, just ask Sasha, because how many cars have you got to run still that you got over your birthday and Christmas?
I don't know.
At least 10 that haven't been out of the box yet. Haven't you? Yeah, I think maybe we put them on the turntable to check them, but you still have to do a track test, don't you?
Yeah.
But that's fun though. That's cool. We have that we got that 60th anniversary M4 that you got, but we got it in 132nd actually. I was tempted but we had the two earlier liveries in 124, and we like, oh, let's try one in the 132nd scale. So be curious on that.
Yeah.
This one actually, can you grab that one, Sasha? So this is one, Massimo, you might have seen this car before, but Sasha got this as a gift from Alan and his family actually at Christmas. And I hadn't seen this car. This is the 917. It was a limited edition from 2018.
Oh wow, I've seen it, like not in person, but I've seen pictures of that. That's very
Yeah,
nice.
I hadn't seen it at all. It was like, obviously this is from Alan's vault, you know, his
Yeah,
probably his own collection. But yeah, I hadn't seen that one. I thought I'd seen all, because we have a load of 917 Carrera cars, all the
yeah.
124s. I'm still missing a couple, I think, but
We have most of them.
we have a lot of them, and I just maybe there's other liveries I haven't seen as well from the back catalog, but they're not easy to get either, are they?
No, they're hard. Especially, I don't know if it's different down in the States, but up here, they're really, you have to be lucky. You go to the store when they just get the shipment in, and they'll have a few, and if you're there, you're there. Otherwise, good luck.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, some good news for you. I got notification that both of those vehicles were in transit
Oh, yeah, yeah. I
from,
got the email the other week. So I think it was last
pardon?
Friday.
Which I think you're talking about a different one now.
Oh,
I'm
probably.
talking
Okay,
about
which one
the
are you talking about?
I'm talking about the
Oh,
secret
those
club
ones.
cars.
Yes, yes. Forgot. Yeah,
Yes.
another one
So
I forgot about.
what's this space on that? Because it has to work its way around the world. It's going to have to go to Ireland first, and then it's going to have to go from Ireland across. So I've no idea on an ETA, but it looks like we're in business on those. So that's going to be exciting.
That's
We won't even mention what they are at the moment. We might
yeah.
even
I
do
have been
a
guessing.
let's do an unboxing, dual unboxing, actually, with you and ourselves. How about that? Sound good?
That sounds awesome. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, are you into real cars? If you could pick two cars, one fantasy and one that you could buy in the future, what would they be?
Good question.
Yeah, cars. I've always been into cars, and I always tinker. Just like yourself, actually, I'm a BMW guy. I have
Hmm.
a 135 with the N54 engine, which
Hmm.
requires a lot of attention sometimes, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Um, in terms of, I guess, my favorite car, which if I ever can afford it, which I never will be able to, would be the F40. I just always loved those cars.
Ah, same as me.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful car. In terms of like a realistic car that I can ever own, I think it would be cool to own like the M1, like the
That'd be cool.
BMW from like '09 or something like that. The M1s, I think those are really nice cars. Or the 1M actually. Sorry, it's reversed for that one.
Yeah. I'm curious, actually. I'm a big F40 fan. That was always my favorite Ferrari. Have you seen, and what are your thoughts on the Liberty Walk white F40? Have you seen that car?
No, I can't say that I
You know
have.
the
No.
you know the Liberty Walk body kits. They have big flared arches and various things, right? So you need to have a look at that and let me know what your thoughts are as an F40 fan. I
Okay.
looked at it and I was thinking it looks good, you know, but it's one part of me is saying, "Oh my God, you've defiled an F40," you know, and the other part is looking at it and go, "Wow, that looks cool."
Yeah. Yeah,
Take a
it's
look
tough with
at
those
it
kind
and
of cars. You see it, it's like sometimes you're like, oh no, they butchered it, but then it's like from a cool aspect, it's like, wow, that's pretty cool what they did with it.
well, when you're finished talking to us, go and check out that car and send me a message and let me know what you think of it. I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
So an F40 then, okay, an F40, and for something then, I guess a future purchase, like a, you know, something that you say, all right, well, I'm going to get one of those in whatever. Is there a particular car that is currently available that you'd be keen on and may consider getting in the future?
I mean, it would be cool to have. Again, these grew on me. I wasn't a fan when they came out, but the new Toyota Supras, I
Yeah,
really, they've grown on me a lot.
they are. I guess I was a big Superman. I had six Mark IVs in my day, my time. Yeah, and I
Awesome.
really, I wish I still had them now. But the new one I wasn't so sure on. but it's grown on me. I've seen some really nice, you know, cars that have kits on them and various things, and they just obviously you've got that BMW underpinning, which with a bit of Toyota's work on top. That's not a bad. That wouldn't be a bad car to have, you know.
Yeah. No, they look nice.
Um,
They run well, they're quick.
yeah, definitely, very cool. What color would you go for if you were getting one?
That's probably there's someone down the street from me that has it in yellow, and
I was
I
going
would
to
never
say,
think about getting a yellow car, but I think that car looks good in yellow. I don't know.
and you know what? Even better, you get one the same as the guy down the road. You'll,
Exactly.
you'll be his, you'll be his new favorite neighbor. Actually, I was going to say yellow too because actually before I left Australia, funnily enough, I had a C63 AMG, and the day I collected it, there was a brand new yellow Supra in the showroom, and because they had a few different dealerships, and I thought, you know what, that looks really good in yellow. It really suits it.
It does, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and they're capable of big power as well. If you want to sort of go down that road, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen a couple of
yeah,
videos of guys online doing some crazy things with those.
yeah, definitely. So, um, now that you've with the Slotcar channel, I know you were, you know, you've been very busy and stuff of late, and you're kind of, you weren't doing as much content. Now you're kind of back again, doing, which is great for everybody. What's your plans moving forward for the channel? I mean, what does 2024 hold? Is it kind of, you know, continue on having fun doing what you're doing, or have you got certain things that you want to tick off the list?
Yeah, I want to. My whole problem is I have no structure when it comes to making my videos. I'll come home one day,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna do a video tonight, and then some
Yeah.
days I'll be at work thinking about an idea. I'm like, yeah, tonight I'll do that. Then I get home, I'm like, too tired. I'm not gonna do a video. So my goal for this year is coming up with a better system so I have regular releases because yeah, I'll go sometimes a week without releasing something, and then I'll go 1 week, I'll release 2 or 3 videos. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
get more this year, I think, hopefully.
Yeah.
So that's my goal, and I want to obviously continue making
Mm.
content. I'm having fun doing it. I get to meet great people like yourselves and people all over the world, which I think it's awesome. And
Yeah.
the community in general, I think it's an amazing community.
Yeah.
So I want to say that I'm not going anywhere. I want to continue, and
Hmm.
it's in the early stages now, but I would really like to get to the UK Slot Fest. I think that would be a goal this year if I could get there.
Yeah. That'd be cool. I would say that there's this year for us is a challenge because we had our green card petition approved, which is great. But you got to stay around until it's actually then issued. So it wouldn't
Oh,
work for us this year. And plus, my parents are coming. We've got visitors coming around that time. But obviously, it's my part of the world anyway, where I'm from. We're definitely gonna try and look to go maybe the following year, I think. Um, and that would be very cool. Obviously, we'd catch up with Pete and some of the other crew from over there.
yeah, yeah. That's the main reason why I want to go is just to meet all these other people that you
Yeah.
always watch. Obviously, to see the festival too, that's a big thing. But it's all about like I'm hoping if I do go, that obviously Pete will be there, but it'd be cool if Travis came down and all
Yes.
that, just to and obviously I would love to meet you guys one day too. So hopefully I come
Yeah.
down there and there's so
Well,
many people you
definitely.
want to meet. We see them behind
Yeah.
this lens. You want to see them in person.
Yeah. It was great meeting. You know, we obviously met Travis and some of the other guys and Rob DeLeon and some of the crew over at LA.
Welcome to the De Leon.
Welcome to the De Leon. Yeah. But really cool, you know, and we've got friendly with a lot of these people, and very good pals with Travis now, and we speak to him very regular, and we're hoping that Travis is going to come and actually visit us. And it would definitely, I think, be great if that happened at some point. It'd be great to organize something so we can catch up with yourself and that kind of thing. It would be great. It's especially if he is going to be over here. It's such a big place, though, isn't it? It's crazy the size. I mean, Australia was the same. It's funny. Some of the people in the UK were saying, "Oh, you're jumping in the car to go to the BRM 24 hour," or like it's a 5 hour flight. you know. So it's the
Ground to cover.
distance. Yeah, the distance you've got to cover. I mean, you're pretty well positioned up there because you've got, there's quite a lot of areas that are in relative close proximity to yourself up there, where you're located. You've not got too far of a hop and a skip to head into that sort of New York area, really. And there seems to be quite a bit happening around there, which is quite spread out. The hobby is very spread out in the US, that's for sure.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Yeah. But we should definitely try and organize something. That's for sure. You're always welcome down in Texas anyway. Definitely.
I would like to come one day. It's on my list to visit, so that could work out.
Would you be racing against Massimo?
Yes.
Show him how it's done.
Oh.
Well, you're actually the reason we have you and Raul are also the reason we have an Omni slot box.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, and we've actually got Pally with. Yeah, love it. We got Pally with Jim as a result of that, and I
Jim's
think Sasha might even be in the user manual testing continuity. Yeah, and Jim is great. See, they've come out with the 4-lane one now.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Nice quality. I mean, we use ours all the time. To be honest, I think we probably use 99% now analog. It's funny, isn't it?
Oh, because there's so much more options out there for analog cars than digital, right?
Like before, we used to always use digital, and then we found analog. I'm like, oh,
but then you go back, and what happens when you go back to digital racing? You forget.
It feels so weird because you get to push down with your thumb controller. We're like, what?
And you forget you can change lanes.
Yeah, like you're going like this, and then there's like this red trigger here that you can change lanes. And we're like,
yeah.
Like, remember you can change lanes. Like,
I know.
Oh right. Like.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. You start off chipping cars, and then you start unchipping cars. That's what I actually took a chip out of a slot technic chip out of a BRM McLaren recently, because at first I obviously chipped it, and then I'm like, okay, well, I want to keep them separate now. We got our digital cars, which we'll love, and we'll sometimes run those on analog, and you just have much more variety, don't you, really, at your fingertips?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
the whole world's open to you. You're just digital. Like, I love digital racing, but you're in like an exclusive club of what you can actually buy and race. So when you have both, the world's open. You could get any brand you want, run anything you like on your track.
Yeah, and what do you think of this new Carrera hybrid thing that's coming out? Is that something you're going to take a look at, or is it? It's not. It's not slot cars. It's a different thing. I'm just curious to see, what it's like. I don't know if we'll go down that road or not, but curious though. Curious to see how it applies in reality.
Yeah, I would like to see how it functions. I think it's a cool idea. Like you said, it's not slot car related, but coming from, I used to race RCs too, not like competitively or anything, but it's pretty much like RC. So I think that's pretty cool, and it's good for kids to get involved too, because you're using your phone to control these cars. You could run them off the track too. So I mean, it has potential. How we'll do, I don't know. I'd like to see it, try it if it's available for me to try. I don't know if I'd want to buy a set, but I'd like to try it to see what it's all about.
Yeah, that's we would like to try it as well. Definitely, we have some RC stuff, don't we? We've got some monster trucks. Sasha has the Traxxas Bigfoot, and
nice.
Gravedigger.
I have the Lossy LMT Gravedigger, which is an absolute beast of a thing.
Oh
Once
yeah.
he actually drove over Bigfoot and did a giant leap, and he can flip on trees too.
What happened when we were down at the lake?
Oh,
We were down at the
no.
lake, and Sasha learned a valuable lesson of why you always need to be aware of where a car is. So you know how big those Lossy LMTs are?
Oh yeah.
The scary part.
That flipped Sasha, didn't it? She ran in front of it, hit her in the back of the legs, flipped her up on herself. It was
No.
it was a perfect flip almost, wasn't it?
Ouch.
The
Were you
problem
okay?
is- Yeah, but
She was.
the
She was
problem
fine.
about my dad and Gravedigger, they get so addicted. He sometimes chases me and my sister with him, and we have to run home.
No, that's definitely never happened. No, never happened.
I'm sure it's
Yeah.
never happened.
We have to run as fast as our legs can
Yes.
carry us and try to hide.
Yeah, you've got to try and outrun a 30-mile-per-hour vehicle.
I
Cut,
love that.
cut. Yeah, no, it's good. What other stuff? So you're into RC stuff as well, Massimo? Is there anything else hobbies that take up your time, or is it mainly the slot cars?
I mean, Slotcar takes a big chunk of it. In the summer, I do a lot of like track days. There's open lapping.
Cool.
I'll bring the car out. I still have my go-karts from when I used to race as like when I was younger. So I still have that.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll do that in the summer.
I took Sasha to Andretti
Go-karts.
kart racing a week or two ago. Actually, she did really well, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't come last.
No, it's hard though because as soon as if there's too many people, they suddenly just restrict all
But
the
there
power
was-
to the carts.
Like
and
there
you're
was
going,
a giant traffic jam.
"Hmm,
Oh yeah.
But I was the youngest person there, and I'm surprised I actually came 7th.
yeah, well, you beat an adult, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. Not me.
I bet he would be first if he was in it.
I wasn't racing. I was just spectating and shouting orders from the sidelines, like any good dad.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, she's enjoyed it, don't you?
Yeah, that was fun. I
Mm.
like doing that.
Yeah.
But wow, my sister's fast. She came first.
Elisa is a speed demon. Elisa was jostling, knocking people off the track. There was
But that's not allowed.
2 adults in there, and it was rubbing his race, and she wasn't taking any prisoners. I tell you that for nothing.
Does she watch Max Verstappen a lot there?
I think she is Max Verstappen. We're going to get her into. We decided we're going to do a competition, but we're going to run a championship, and we're going to use. We did one before. We didn't record it.
Destruction Derby.
Yeah, we're going to do one with all the manufacturers because we got so many cars now. So we'll do Revo, Slot, Carrera, stuff like that. Something similar to you do sometimes, but myself, Sasha, and Elisa, and if I can get her mom involved, we'll race each other and we'll try and record some of it. That could be fun.
Yeah, that would be great.
What happens if I whoop you, though?
I don't think that's gonna happen.
What happens if you whoop me?
Well, I'm fine with that then.
It's okay if it's that way. You know what? I just realized it's 1 hour and 3 minutes already.
But I got one last question.
Okay.
What was the first real car you ever got, and do you still have it?
First real car. Oh, my first car ever that I bought. I was in first year of college. I needed a car. I bought a 96 Volkswagen Golf. No, sorry, Volkswagen Jetta. It was red. Bumpers were plastic and faded, and the bumpers were pink at that point. That was my first ever car. Ran great, but yeah.
Yeah.
How long did you have it for? Like,
I had that for about a year before selling it. Then I ended up getting a 06 Passat for a while, which was a nice car. Then I ended up getting that Fiat. I still have the Fiat Abarth. I still have that one.
They're good fun.
The Barths, yeah, they're fun and did a lot of work to it too, the modifications. So it runs pretty good.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool. Well, unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap it up because I hadn't realized at all we were an hour in already.
Like,
but
when you start talking, you can't stop talking.
Yeah. I hope that's not aimed at me because I'm Irish, is it?
But quickly, I want to ask, what are your guys' favorite cars right now to drive before we end this? Ooh, nice choice.
This will probably be your favorite car when you get it.
Really?
I think so. And if you see the details of the alloy wheels and everything, it's top class.
I have a lot. I can't tell.
What else? Obviously, that my favorite car would probably be this one as well. That one I showed you, the 962.
The Jägermeister.
All right. Let me see. I'll show you. I actually have them here. Funnily enough, Massimo.
Nice. What's that?
The 5112 BRM, which is the partner for the 917.
Oh, beauty.
You need. I would, if I was you, the David Piper Red. It's actually a different tooling than this car, slightly different. That's coming out from BRM, and I think that would be a great. Oh, that's what you ordered. Yes. Nice.
I think I pre-ordered that from Alan. Yeah, I think so. That's what I pre-ordered.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, if you didn't, I would definitely, because the 5112 versus the 917 is essential. And this is my other favorite. So this is the BRM McLaren, and they only made 100 in this green color.
If you mind, I'm gonna pop the camera and show you two others.
Okay, go on and get them. We might as well. Yeah, I have a black one of these as well. I don't know where it is though. It's not here. Yeah, they did 100 of the green, 100 of the black, and they're just class cars. We've got two Gulf liveries coming in. Not the stereotypical light blue Golf. Two of those coming. Should be next week, actually, in that. Too many cars, Massimo, not enough time.
Exactly.
I think Sasha's gone to get a couple of her favorite cars to show you as well.
There's too many, so I'm bringing 3.
Too many. Well, it's hard to get them out because we've got the cars stacked underneath the slot car table.
I've seen that video. Looks cool though.
Here she comes. I'll give her a hand here. All right.
Thank you.
All right. What have you got?
There's too many, so I have to pick 3.
Oh, that was the mouthful you had to do in the singing for the.
Oh God, that's just a tongue twister.
Can you sing it again?
Okay, a KTM Expo GTX Liquo Molly.
That's impressive.
Oh my God.
As you can see, it's not even been opened yet.
Look, I bet I can remember that car. Okay, a Carrera BMW M460th anniversary. Yeah, there we go.
458. That's one of Sasha's favorites.
That was actually my second car I got.
Oh, second one ever?
Yeah.
And her other favorite car is mine, apparently.
I like it. So don't judge me.
It's interesting putting these side by side, actually, Massimo. The BRM and that. The BRM is wider. It's a wider car than the Carrera. Yeah.
Nobody can judge me picking my own dad's car.
No, this is true.
And we have a ton more 917s that I like.
We do, don't we? We've lots of them.
If you wanted me to show you every single car I like, you would see a lot of 917s.
Yeah, that was actually what car did she want in real life, and it was a 917K.
And an Audi RS5.
Yeah, she likes the RS5s, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not an Audi man. I'll be honest with you. The only Audi that I would have any desire to have would have been the V10 R8.
Those are nice.
Otherwise, never. I would always pick a BMW M car or an AMG over. It was just my preference, you know. I always found that the Audis were a bit too sedate for my liking.
I have a lot of favorites.
If you're a BMW guy, you're not really Audi.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're kind of one or the other. We're AMG and M Sports. That's our thing here, I think.
And also 917Ks. Like you can tell, we basically have every single one.
Yeah, almost. Right. Well, we're gonna have to wrap it up there, folks. Okay.
Well, as always, thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us, Massimo.
Thanks for having me.